tonight to the Awkward Table. This is episode 9, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me. We straight? Cool. Last week it was just both myself and Leek. Today, Sir Frenchie is back. Yeah. We have, gone down to, 3 members. Tron had expressed to us that he currently has a lot on his plate within his personal life, but he's also trying to just get things started. So, going forward, we'll be moving on without him and everything. It's all love and, peace and love to whatever he chooses to do. And if he chooses to come back, then we'll have a discussion later on. But moving forward, it will be the 3 of us. So, movie news will kind of more or less now be more of just a conversational thing we'll probably throw at the end or so, or in pre-production talk. If cameras are rolling, we'll go hit that as well. So if you do wish to continue to hear movie news, go ahead and just let us know in the comment section there if you do want to continue to hear that, and we'll dedicate some time within the beginning of the pod to actually go ahead and give you that. Saying that, how the fuck have y'all been?
Sounds good.
Good?
Crazy.
Yeah, something crazy. Something crazy, Sal. What's going on?
A lot of stuff going on, like just moved to a new place.
Good shit.
So yeah, preparing for that drove me crazy, and then actually moving in was driving us a little crazy. But everything is settled now. Everything is good.
That's love. That's fucking love. Yeah, I know, Chelsea. I understand how stressful it is to fucking. Like, it seems as though, I don't got that much shit until you get everything to fucking on. You're like, it's a lot of shit there and stuff like that. You got like a fucking couch under your couch and it's like, what's going on here? But say that, I kind of want to jump into real fast. Before we get into everything, I kind of want to wrap up the conversation that we started last week at the beginning of the pod. Before we get into what we were watching and what we were reading, all that extra good shit. We talked about the top video game franchises of all time. We tried to make a top 5 list, and we only were able down. In our personal list, we were able to create a top 5. But within, I guess you could say, if we had to make a list for, just the standard of the golden games and everything, we only were able to get to a top 4. So, Frenchie, you weren't here. I actually kind of want to ask, what was your list, and we can see if we can kind of pull together to at least make a 5th one. The issue that we were having was that no matter what list or what game, franchise, or series that we came up with, it cannot throw hands with the other top 4. Mainly because of also just how long these game series have just been around. And granted, there are some duds within each series and some flops. But for that as a whole, each series is solid. So the top 4 that we had was in no specific order. Mario, The Legend of Zelda, Final Fantasy, and Pokemon. There we go. Pokemon was the 4th one. So what was your top 5? And I guess we'll just see if we can kind of throw around and everything and see if we can kind of get at least a 5th.
Legend of Zelda and Mario. I agree with you guys on that. I also threw in Sonic. I threw that in.
Okay.
That's interesting. Final Fantasy was another one, and then I said GTA.
GTA.
Not mad at that.
Me neither.
Arguable.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, and it's just, cause I feel like GTA you can make an argument, but I feel as though it's like it kind of hit a time one. Or the best thing about GTA is that when it kind of blew up was at a time where graphics kind of made a leap. So when you had your San Andreas, before that, how GTA looked prior to that and everything was different. But then you hit the different ones, and as you continue, I think they improved on each other. GTA 5 still looks gorgeous to this day, and with the mods that it has on PC, like we discussed last week and everything, it's fucking ridiculous. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's when you get down to it, GTA as a series, you have maybe 2 top echelon games, and then you can argue a 3rd. But then, can GTA actually really throw hands in a fight with the other 4 and stuff? Because I feel like maybe there's a Mount Rushmore of games, but then there's also a top tier list. And I feel like just because you're in the top tier doesn't make you Mount Rushmore level. And I feel like a GTA would be top tier. But then again, within that top tier, I feel like a fucking FIFA or Madden will get thrown in there. I feel like maybe a Halo because of its history and everything will get thrown in there. A Need for Speed or the Tony Hawk series of games will get thrown in there. You get what I'm saying? The top tier, the top echelon of game series and stuff. yeah, I don't know, man. Tony Hawk just fucking kills me. Yeah, I feel like Tony Hawk. You can argue that it could get thrown up in there.
I don't think you can make an argument just because it only had 2 games.
No, because you have Tony Hawk Underground 1 and 2. You have Tony Hawk Proving Grounds. You have the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games. So like you.
I forgot about Proving Grounds.
Yeah, Proving Grounds was hot. So I feel like it has the titles and everything, but I mean, I guess maybe because it didn't hit as big of, I guess it didn't reach as many people. I guess you could say.
Yeah.
That'd be a reason why. But I feel like if we're going like out, especially if we're talking about games like outside, like of like, the West and stuff, maybe there's a bunch of games over there that like they're just huge.
Yeah.
But I guess that's also the reason why at the end of the podcast I also threw it there. I was like, yo, fuck it, man, World of Warcraft. Because I feel like World of Warcraft, like that is like that's top tier when it comes to like MMORPGs and shit like that. Especially when in terms of PC. But yeah.
I don't know if it reached this level, but I really love Dynasty Warriors. I know it's a lot bigger in the West. I mean, not the West. Other side, we the West.
Yeah.
It's a lot bigger on the other side than us.
No, the Dynasty Warriors is. See, and it's weird because like I think that's also what kind of makes Legend of Zelda such an interesting like franchise, because the Hyrule Warriors is basically just Dynasty Warriors with Legend of Zelda characters.
Mm-hmm.
So like I feel like that whole style of games, like that's it right there. And then there's other games that branch off and try to take from it. So I feel like you can make an argument there, but I feel as though a Dynasty Warriors actually might be on a level of like a Souls games, like the Dark Souls games, more or less. That like they might not have that big of an impact, but the inspiration, it has more of an impact than anything. Because like how many games actually took from like what it was and shit like that. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe there isn't a top 5 best franchise of all time. I mean, you just like y'all just said we might have to go like old school and everything. I mean, like you could throw a Pac-Man in there, you could throw a Tetris in there and stuff. But I don't know. I guess when I'm thinking about franchise, I'm thinking about new experiences, and stuff. And I feel it's like when you have a Mario, you have Super Mario Galaxy, Paper Mario, and all stuff, Super Smash. Yeah. Like they're giving you different experiences each time you come back to it and stuff. So I don't know, but a Sonic, that's a good one.
Interesting one. I didn't even think about Sonic.
Definitely a lot of titles.
Yeah.
Sure.
They also have different stuff like Sonic Riders
I was
and
about to say
everything.
platforms. That's
Yeah.
every platform.
PC, phone, all types of consoles.
All types of games.
Yeah.
Temple run type games, everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who knows?
Sonic might be up there.
Yeah, it might be.
Sonic,
It might be contender.
But I feel like it's hard because then I feel like if I'm gonna throw Sonic in there, I feel like I have to maybe even make an argument for Mega Man. My only thing is that Mega Man's name hasn't been as high, but neither has Sonic.
But Sonic got his own movie, though. Sonic
He
was a
did.
TV show.
He did, but
Sonic had a Saturday morning TV show.
Yeah, but so did Mega Man.
But we
Mega Man had two.
We know about Pokemon. You know about Sonic.
I mean, you watched it, but people
that
didn't
shit
watch.
Was the Mega Man cartoon
like,
was hot.
They
Hold up,
like Sonic.
Whoa, that
we
shit was
watched
hot.
Sonic like.
No, Sonic
Pokemon.
actually was nice.
You gotta think of popularity wise.
Yeah, but at the same time, Sonic is huge. But you gotta remember that also.
Sonic is up there.
Yeah, but you gotta understand that Mega Man is also huge as well. I mean, it's not even Mega Man.
I mean,
overseas, it's called Rockman. It's not even called Mega Man overseas.
I mean, I get that, but like, if you was to say, like, I don't know, say Mario and Zelda, I don't know, sitting at a lunch table and they got room for one more, Sonic or Mega Man. Who they gonna choose?
I mean, but I think that's an interesting thing because I feel that could actually go either way. I don't feel as though it's this one definitely is gonna get picked over the other. I feel as though it's gonna be more or less to what that person likes more, which obviously that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I don't feel as though it's a guarantee that this one is over this one. That's why I feel as though I think there's an argument between the two. Like if you're gonna throw Sonic in there, I feel like that now you kind of have
so
to.
it's only a 6-man. The fifth spot is empty. It's only a 6-man.
That's what it is. I think it gotta be Sonic, even though I like Mega Man more because what's another Mega Man character? People knows Knuckles, people know Tails, people know Dr.
Exactly.
Eggman.
You know,
Ain't no shit they know
Shadows,
besides
the whole
Mega
Sonic
Man.
family.
That's true, but at the same time, the Mega Man games were just about Mega Man. Now, granted, you did
Yeah.
have Mega Man X and everything that went on to other like characters, but at the same time, Mega Man it's never been like about like, hey, let's bring in more characters and everything and stuff. He has his different suits and shit.
Yeah, I don't think Mega Man hold up as a solo character like Zelda would or like Mario would. You know what I mean? Like I understand, because like when I say hold up, I mean like popularity and fame. I don't like not as a game or like as a good
but
character.
I feel like that's speaking for over here in the West though. Like I like,
Mega Man is definitely bigger over there, but Sonic is too.
but I don't think it's as big over there as it
I
is
don't
here.
know,
Now, granted, here and everything.
Sonic?
I do not think Sonic is bigger over there than Mega Man at all. At all. Like I don't think so. Is it big? Yes. At bigger than Mega Man over there, they call it Rockman and everything. No, I don't think it is. But you know, then you kind of it's hard, bro. It's hard because I feel like both series they have like numerous amount of entries, like
Yeah, for sure.
numerous,
That's true.
and also spin-offs and everything. So like
Right.
it's
They do.
hard and I don't know.
I will only give it to Sonic because of the characters, and then also it's still.
I'm a bigger
Make
fan.
it-
I'm a bigger fan of Sonic.
I'm a bigger fan of Mega Man, which is crazy. We arguing now.
Yeah, give me your fucking point, man. Come on, man. But yeah, no, I feel as though like but then then I feel like you kind of just really get to like when you talk about like the platformers and shit like that. Then I guess that'll be a whole different list or some shit. But yeah, for a fifth one, I don't know, man. For argument's sake, I will just throw fucking World of Warcraft in there. Just cause, bro. I would just throw it in there just cause
Yeah,
like
That's too niche to me.
Yeah, I think it's too niche
It's
too.
niche.
It's not, it has
Like,
like
it's not touching the same audience. as
Exactly.
Sonic
It's
or
not,
Mega
but
Man.
I do feel as though when you're talking about like when it just hit like how influential it was. Like when you think about like I don't think is like
Yeah, I
those
agree.
games they're platformers.
It blew up
But-
Comic Con in a certain way.
No,
like,
but I don't think it's just that. I think it's more or less that like how many games that Sonic and Mega Man inspired to do others. There's so many other platformers out there and stuff. Yes, we enjoyed it and everything. Like when you turn on your Sega, the first thing you hear is Sega, and then you hear you're like, bro, Sonic, let's fucking go there. But when you say World of Warcraft, it's a whole different time. It's like at the inception of like where the internet is and everything, and everyone's blowing up, and this is their experience, and then people are literally fucking addicted to now being on their PC because of this. And it was also a paid subscription, and people were still addicted to it. They were willing to go
But that's
broke.
why I say it's more niche.
yeah. I think it has
I
more
don't,
hardcore
no,
fans.
No, I think,
Yeah,
no,
I'll say
I think
that.
the
I'll
fans,
say
but I
that.
don't think the impact is niche though. The impact itself, because when you think about it, it literally influenced just how MMOs and RPGs just went about, just kind of how your screen looks and everything and stuff like when we talk about how like Halo like influenced like the controller scheme of just modern day shooters, they influenced just how MMOs were just being made and stuff, and I feel as though it has that
Did you put
same.
League in the same conversation? If you're gonna put World of Warcraft in there, I feel like, especially nowadays, League is more of a.
Yes, but no, in a sense, only because one, I don't think League I feel as though it's a smaller thing. It's huge when it comes to just competitive like PC gaming and stuff like that. But I feel as though League is even more of a niche audience. Not saying that the game type is a niche audience, but the game itself is definitely more of a niche, nicher audience and stuff. Ain't gonna create words in this shit.
Right.
Yeah. But I feel as though, and also I don't think that the impact is there either. Now, on competitive, maybe yes, impact's probably there for competitive play, but I don't feel as though for as gaming as a whole, I don't think that it has a bigger impact than World of Warcraft. But I guess we'll throw in Sonic, Mega Man, World of Warcraft as that duke it out spot.
I think if we really got to pick one, it'll be Pac-Man or Tetris.
Yeah, because I feel like Pac-Man don't get enough
Yeah,
respect.
if we really had to,
Yeah.
it'll be Pac-Man or Tetris.
Yeah.
One of
Yeah.
those two.
Because those are still well-played games
Yeah.
that have lasted for decades.
Decades.
That have been in multiple platforms, have media attached to them.
Mhm.
They're in in, or there's movies or media about them, or that they're in. So they kind of hit all the boxes.
Hit everything.
You know?
Well, saying that, I guess that'll close our little conversation from last fucking week. And if we do have another one, we'll fucking come back another time for that shit. But saying that, you know, with trying no longer being here and stuff, and not having the movie news here, we're gonna go ahead and, you know, just go into our sports, then our gaming, and then our world news. So without further ado, Sir Frenchie.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been 2 weeks since I've been here.
2, 3,
2,
4,
3,
5,
2,
6.
3. It's 3. No, y'all effing me up. It's 3. All right, because last week was just y'all 2. Then the week before it was just your interview with the white box.
Oh, yeah.
So it's been 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks. All right, going into 3 weeks since I did sports. What's been going on this week in sports news? Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua has been set. I don't know if I could agree with you on that let's go part.
Why, you have a received outcome already?
I don't think Anthony Joshua should be fighting Tyson Fury until he settled the score with Andy Ruiz.
Okay.
Because it's a 1-1 fight between them two.
So you're saying finish off that business first.
Then go ahead and do
it.
Then you can go against Tyson Fury. And then also I'm just biased. I'm a fan of Deontay Wilder.
Yeah,
so
I hear you there.
Yeah. So I feel like Deontay Wilder should definitely avenge himself.
Yeah, that wasn't a good show.
No.
I agree with him. He came down the aisle with too much armor on.
That boy. He said, I'm going to uphold the bullshit.
Right.
He said, I was tired.
I was tired.
Heavy armor. I agree with him.
I agree with him.
But yes, it's been set for August 14th, 2021, this year. Couple months.
Yeah.
It is definitely a fight to see because they both are heavy hitters. 2 heavyweight boxers, biggest names right now in boxing, besides Jake Paul.
Who is the biggest name in boxing?
Why would you give him that ammunition?
I'm dead.
Actually funny, man. I've talked to Zay about that too. That's what I was like, yo, listen, I was going like on Google Analytics and looking up the searches and shit like that. And each time you see where Jake Paul's name like spikes and everything is synonymous or like with boxing as well. So every time you see the Google searches for boxing spikes, it spikes up with Jake Paul as well. And that's on Google and on YouTube under analytics. I was like, bro,
It pisses me off because he's not Logan Paul. I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Like he's the boxer, so how the hell is Jake Paul name?
And didn't Mayweather say that he won't mind finding both of them the same day or something like that?
Mayweather's just being cocky.
Like, go get your hat back. Relax.
Mayweather don't
Didn't
take
they
a
say
fight.
that on the show or something, or they were taking the threat against their life seriously or something?
I don't know, but this is all just to sell. Like, they ain't gonna do that shit.
They're not gonna do it, but that's what Logan Paul said. He said that he takes that threat, I'm gonna effing kill you serious. So he's going.
Listen, man, I feel as though it's the same shit. Like, with fucking Drake sent the invoice to this boy. Like, I feel it's more or less it's just for show. Like they're just trying to sell it now. Like that's all it is.
Oh yeah, because after the fight is over, of course Mayweather gonna hug Logan Paul and they gonna
thank you for the check.
Right.
That's all it is.
Thank you for the check.
Because you know he's catching a percentage. 'Cause, I mean, if Jake Paul's getting a percentage off of the pay-per-view, you know that Mayweather's gonna do
Mayweather
this.
not fighting without a percentage.
No.
Unless it's the majority of the percentage for real.
He's taking biggest pot.
Biggest pot.
I'm surprised Mayweather is fighting in Florida because if it ain't Vegas, he wasn't taking it. He was not taking that fight.
Well, Vegas ain't even open.
I think this Florida's open, so he'll be able to get that
more
crowd.
money.
And it's like one of the few places, like only like 3 places that are completely open.
Yeah, they've been open for a rippy.
Yeah, I mean even when they weren't open, they were open. Like, from Florida, they trying to get their money. They're like Jersey, like we just want to get our money. That's all. Like,
You're not worried about nothing
at all.
But that's the boxing. On to NBA. It was the Hall of Fame this past week. 3 of the top names that was being inducted into the NBA Hall of Fame was Tim Duncan. My favorite growing up, Kevin Garnett, and Kobe Bryant, late great Kobe Bryant. God rest his soul. It would have been an honor to have him actually there doing his own speech, but tragic passing last year, and his wife did it on his behalf. Emotional speech. Shout out to her for doing it. Shout out to her in general for holding it down for him and being strong.
It's only been a year. I ain't gonna lie, as fast as time has gone due to the pandemic, I feel as though I feel like it's actually happened longer ago. Just like it don't feel like it's only been a year.
It was been a year?
Yeah.
I think we were together when it happened, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a crazy day. I remember that day vividly, actually.
Yeah, me.
Oh yeah, that was.
Yeah, because it was like multiple things at the same time.
We were shooting
Kimbo's thing,
Jones.
Yeah, I remember that.
Everybody was over there.
We was like, huh?
Yeah, me and Izzy, we was together. We were, me and Izzy was getting ready to give up because we went on a date that day, and that's when we had heard the news, like on our date that Kobe had passed away. Our date prior to that was like a whole year ago when Nipsey Hussle passed away. So we was like, bro, we can't.
Yeah, right. We got just kidding.
Y'all ready to stop going out.
Stop going out, right?
Because I remember when Nip died, I was at work and you had texted me. You were like, yo, bro, you're like, Nip was just shot. And I was like, what? It's up? And then like 5 minutes later, you're like, yo, he's dead. And I was like, yo, stop. Because that whole week, we was at work just like fucking listening to like Nip's album, just like going crazy and shit. And then we was like, dang, yo, like we really literally just came right back to this shit and stuff. And then he texted me and I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
So we haven't have we been on a full date since? Since Kobe.
Y'all petrified of going to
Right, y'all can't go out no more at all.
That was stressing me out. I'm not gonna lie.
Anytime you hit the group chat like, yo, we about to call, I'm like, please don't. I can't take it no more.
Yeah, I don't think we've been on a date since then.
What were y'all doing when Chadwick passed? I swear y'all
Right.
said y'all went
Y'all-
out. We saw hands on camera.
Literally home heartbroken.
Okay.
Alright.
Everybody had to throw hands
That's
up.
what I say.
Right.
Listen,
Cut the camera.
this is like handcuffs. I can't leave. Okay. Every time you lose somebody.
But
that's a piece of the great shit.
Yeah. Also, other names that was actually enshrined in the Hall of Fame this year is Jay Wright, Ben Wallace,
Big Ben.
Paul Pierce, Chris Bosh.
I forgot you're a Boston fan, but
That boy said Celtics. Ugh.
it's not Celtics. It's just Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce. Ben Wallace, Paul Pierce, Chris Bosh, Bill Russell for his coaching career that he had.
He in the Hall of Fame twice?
Yeah.
You can be in the Hall of Fame twice. That's crazy.
Player and the
Player
coach.
and the coach, yeah, he was.
That's some legit shit. I ain't gonna hold you.
He won 2 championships as a coach.
And that means he literally certified in everything he did within the NBA. Like that's love.
Yeah, just go talk to him.
Yeah.
You know everything. You know everything about
I'm
ball.
an expert.
Yeah.
I quite literally did it all.
Yeah. But a bunch of greats in the NBA. That was the greatest. They call this the greatest Hall of Fame ever, and I gotta agree because it's literally a bunch of greats. Tamika Catchings, which was a great WNBA player. So it's definitely up there as the greatest of all time as far as the Hall of Fame. Also, what's going around in the NBA is the playoffs is approaching. May 22nd. They're doing play-in tournaments right now. Lakers and the Warriors are going at it. Not today, at least I don't think. But they are going at it to see who gets the 7th seed. Quite frankly, biased opinion, I hope that it's the Warriors.
I knew he was gonna say that shit. Yeah, I hate LeBron so much, I swear.
But you know what though? It's not even that. It's just that Curry is really out there doing it all by himself.
That's true.
He is like doing it by himself.
Yeah.
Like he's
Somebody gotta do it, right?
right. It's just him. So
How about them Sixers?
They already in it, so they ain't got to do the
That's
play-in
what I'm saying,
time.
How about them Celtics?
Here we go.
Anyway,
They can't chill on you, bro.
listen. At the end of the day, when it comes to who I predict as to be the championship winners, honestly, I don't predict my Celtics because, to be honest, we are slacking. Danny Ainge effed up during that trade. We need a big man. They say we got Tristan Thompson. We need a big man. We all know what happens when a player dates a Kardashian. It's
Done.
yeah. So
Over.
we need a big man.
I'm hearing a lot of excuses over there. That boy said he ain't tall enough. We got Kardashian drama.
Y'all could take Paul Pierce out of retirement. He ain't working at ESPN no more.
Definitely not. Sorry, that boy need to go somewhere.
But yeah, I'm as far as championship. I already know you going for the Sixers.
No, I think the Nets gonna win it.
The Nets.
Honestly, if I'm being unbiased,
Yeah, I want. So here's how I look at it. I want the Nets to win simply because with all the All-Stars that they have on their team, they're gonna be a laughingstock if they don't.
yeah, true.
Yeah,
They're going to be a laughingstock.
That whole Harden trade, yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, when the whole thing happened with the fucking, with the Warriors, it's like, y'all have to win.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, like, then they ran into LeBron on some bullshit, and LeBron was like, nah, like, y'all forgot who I was, shit. And, you know, that 1 year that happened, but, you know, then it's like, yo, no, it's the Warriors, bro. So, like, you kind of when you have just, regardless of the name, when you have this, when you have that much of skill within the team, if you lose, bro, like, I'm sorry, like, I'm laughing.
Oh yeah, definitely a laughingstock. So that's why I'm pulling for Brooklyn. Don't embarrass yourselves, man. All them stars, all them All-Stars, don't y'all embarrass yourselves. Also, Kendrick Perkins has said that it is harder to win an NBA championship than a Super Bowl. Do y'all agree with him? I'm not sure if I agree with him on that aspect.
That's all right. God damn, that's hard. Because like I feel like the main argument that I would have is that you have way too many chances to catch up in an NBA game.
Yeah,
especially point wise. When it comes to a football game, if that defense, like
if you get in the hole, it's hard.
And it's there's too many aspects within it, and so but at the same time with like trying to get a Super Bowl, there's also a lot of luck in there.
A whole lot of luck.
Like, can you imagine like your defensive line just like by the smallest thing you shift weight to one side, someone comes shoulders you and now they're past you. Like there's too much of like luck and chance to just either fuck up or come back and everything. Right. But with an NBA, like there's way too many chances to make a comeback.
Right. Way
too many. Now, granted, if you're not hitting your shots, then you're just not hitting your shots. But that kind of goes without saying within every sport. Yeah. Like, if you're just not doing your job, then obviously you're not going to have a good game. But I'm not going to say that it's easier to win. It's easier to win a Super Bowl. Yeah. I'm not gonna. I can't say that. Only because we've seen we've seen it so many times. Like, yo, listen, we have the lead, and then you blow the fucking lead because the other team's like, nah, we figured it out this and the third, and they're like, I don't know.
I would think it's harder to win a Super Bowl. Because like, if you got one great player like LeBron, for example, you're gonna be in the finals every fucking year. for he's in the finals like 15 straight years, and then like Super Bowl, you could have the best quarterback, the best running back, the best whatever. Right. It's really more of a team sport. So one part of the team is fucking up, then the whole team not gonna win. Whereas basketball, just somebody could literally put the team on their back for like a couple games.
And even at that, even if you just have like that one great player, even if they just have one other person, it's damn near a guaranteed win if it's just those two.
Yeah.
You can't win a fucking football game with only two people just doing their job.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, you can't do that. Because if your offensive line ain't holding up, that they're just running straight through you.
Yeah.
You can't get the ball out.
Yeah.
It's not a whole 3-second rule. That 3-second rule gets like fucking thrown out the window when you got someone that's 200 plus pounds and everything on your fucking
Running
ass.
at you, right?
Yeah, like you can't. Like I'm sorry, but that's just not how it works and everything. So I mean, I can understand. Yes, you love your sport and you're extremely competitive and everything and stuff within your mindset and even like for what you do. But I feel as though you bullshit a little much there. Like
Yeah, I'm definitely agreeing with both of y'all, cause I look at it as NBA Finals or NBA Championship is best out of 7. There's only one game for the Super Bowl.
That's true. I didn't even think
There's
about
only
that.
one
I
game for the
completely
Super
forgot
Bowl.
about that.
So if you F up one game in the NBA Finals, all right, you got to come back second game stronger.
Right.
Third, you got chances.
Bro, that's
but
even
there's
on
one
the-
game.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I completely forgot because that's even to the play. Like in the playoffs and everything. Like yo, if you fuck up and everything, that's it.
That's
Yeah.
it.
You're gone.
You have
Yeah.
one bad game.
But
it's over,
within basketball, you have a series.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You don't, could you imagine the football? First off, everybody
They couldn't
was
have
dead.
a series. I thought they'd be dead
You
after
would
the
be
first
dead.
the first round.
but by the time you get to like the fucking Super Bowl, it's gonna be like, you know what?
It's a 3-on-3
Just run.
at
Who
this
can
point.
run fastest? Just go. But yeah, no,
hiring out
yo,
players from the track and
real shit, yo, like I didn't even think about that. Like I never thought about it.
That's a critical point.
Yeah.
And injuries too. I feel like people always get injured in football over anything.
Definitely. It's a bunch of cramps in the NBA. That's what it is.
Could you imagine if you fake fouls or whatever? And someone, get your ass the fuck up. You get hit in this game 24 seconds. Go, run, nigga. Like, damn.
Yeah, ain't no flopping.
I ain't going fraud, man. I still believe that LeBron in the 2013 finals, was it? And Paul Pierce in the 2000.
That's why I don't like him. That's
They-
exactly. I know exactly what you're about to say. That's the exact moment.
Them,
That's why I
them
don't like him.
both of them getting carried off the court, man. Y'all injury and then coming back.
They coming back the same game. Like what?
He said, let me take this 20.
Yeah, exactly. Let me get this 10-15 real quick. I'm hurt.
But yeah, Super Bowl is definitely. I gotta disagree with Perkins on that one. Super Bowl is definitely a harder game to win than the NBA championship. Also, right now, well, not too long ago, last month, the MLB season has started. We're probably like a month and a half in, and the rankings are tight right now. The race is tight. They said that there's no dominant team right now in MLB.
Wait, before we go into baseball,
Yeah.
the NBA. This is because you weren't here for the past few weeks. They actually did the whole like shit differently with playoffs, right? Of how the rankings go. Did you want to talk about that real quick?
The play-in tournaments,
Yeah.
you know what?
Because I know LeBron was vocal about how he does. I mean, he was
Because
okay with it at first,
it's-
but then once he realized he had to fight for a spot, then all of a sudden now he's like, I don't like this. Whoever made this is stupid.
Yeah, because it's very confusing. I think what
It
they,
is confusing.
I think what they do, they went the top. Usually they go the top 8, you know,
Yeah.
and then that 8 plays in the playoffs. But I think what
But
they
more
did,
teams have a chance now, right?
I think they went top 10.
No, top 10. Yeah.
Yeah, like the top 6 automatically are in,
Guaranteed,
but the top 10, the last 4, so
So it's
that's
more wild cards.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
exactly.
Basically,
more
Yeah,
wild
and
cards.
pretty much the lower you go, like you're paired up with like let's say like the 8th and 7th seed have to go against each other to like who
Yeah.
goes next, and then basically you're duking it out with whoever's like your counterpart within that
Yeah.
and stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, which is an interesting thing. But the only reason why I asked it is because like I feel as though like not many like there are some people who just simply don't understand that the NBA did like switch it out, and I thought it was really interesting that how LeBron was okay with it at first, but then once he realized like oh shit no I actually do have to fight for my spot now, and so then I understand maybe you just don't understand it at first, but at the same time it's your job to understand what the hell's going on with your team and everything.
LeBron too smart not to have understood that.
You know,
Yeah, so and that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you can't complain about it now. Right.
Right.
You had already, like, you was like, oh yeah, I'm cool with this, but now you gotta fight for it. Now all of a sudden it's a fucking issue. And it's like, no,
But
no.
you know, I'm kind of biased on this because I agree. Like, I get where he's going. You know, I'm all these years of the NBA. I'm in 7th place, so I should already be guaranteed to be in the playoffs. I shouldn't have to fight now to get into the playoffs and
I
mess
understand
up.
both sides.
Although as a marketing type thing,
It's genius.
it's genius. Yeah. And then also like when you
it keeps
think about it,
competitive too.
yeah.
Like
And-
you have to fight now to
And you
actually
keep
get
the
that.
fans in
To win
tune.
for
Yeah, you
Yeah.
keep the
Yeah.
fans.
You
of
keep
the
the
lower
fans
teams who not always going.
Exactly. Cause when it's 10 games left or so in the NBA, like fans are not really.
Yeah, some people are dropping off.
Yeah, they like, all right, we're gonna wait till playoffs to finish watching NBA. But now you got this. Fans are in tune to see, oh, okay, it's competitive. Who's gonna be in the play-in tournament and all. So marketing wise, I understand. Yeah, me too. But
yeah, I'm sorry. I just had to get that out first. You weren't here, so like we weren't able to talk about how the shit all switched and everything. Yeah. But yeah, my bad. Back to MLB.
Right now there's no dominant teams in baseball right now. We a month and a half in, I believe. White Sox is ranked number 1. It's tight. They say it's the tightest it has ever been. But there's also people out there that have concerns. They saying MLB is not, I guess, showed as much as it used to be in years, or it's not a big thing like it was in years.
I remember this past time.
Yeah, like y'all agree with that? Like I agree with it. But then it's also the question of, okay, so how do they get it back to that standard of being a talked about thing?
I feel as though you gotta make it exciting. You gonna?
It ain't exciting.
Well, no,
it ain't never been exciting.
No, but you gotta understand too is that like for me, hockey isn't exciting until I see a clip on fucking Twitter of 2 people like swinging on each other. I'm like, hey, let's go. But at the same time, is that like I feel like I think every sport kind of goes through a slump.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think it's like. It's sports, so rivalries are going to be what holds everything. Right. And my issue is though is that like, or the issue that I'm seeing with it is that there's nothing to garner attention anymore. So for lack of a better word, lack of a better name, they're gonna need a Jake Paul to like spice this shit up, like, or like a situation like that. There's gonna need to be basically that villain or whatever that's gonna basically come in and be like, the person needs to be a good seller. Like it has to be a good seller. The person that's going to come in is going to need to actually be good at what they do, and then just start talking shit. Like you have to basically now sell the sport, and that's what a lot of sports are now realizing and everything. Whether it's baseball hasn't realized it yet, but football, boxing, and everything. Like you need that villain, that person that's going to come in, dominate at what they do, and talk shit. Like you're going to need that and stuff because right now you're in an age where everything happens so fast. That people aren't invested in things anymore.
Yeah. You don't have the attention span for baseball anymore.
That's the thing. It's
that's the issue. Yo, listen, but put it like this: like, if you get struck out and everything, we're gonna renegotiate your fucking contract. All right, cool. We back in there. We want to see everybody. We want to see everybody that's fucking getting struck out. Like, yo,
I really can't think of like. I think the last time that, at least for me, that I can remember baseball being the main talked about. It had to be 2012. I think the Giants won the World Series that year. But they went on a slump, and then what was that year that Chicago Cubs beat Cleveland? I think it was. That was actually, I think that was like 2017 or 16, 17, right? And then it's right back to a slump.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because the big major teams aren't the best teams right now? So like the Yankees, the Red Sox not the best team, the Dodgers, the Angels not the best team.
That's actually a good point.
People always say that about the Knicks. Like people who like fans of basketball hate that the Knicks aren't good because they're one of the biggest markets, and they were if they had like a LeBron or a Russell Westbrook or somebody, a star, like New York could brand them like no other place could.
That's actually true because. Like you said, like a big marketing team like New York, as big as they are, you still got somebody as big like the Lakers or the Celtics playing, keeping it entertaining. But like you said, Boston, Red Sox not in it.
The best team right now, the White Sox, the Indians.
These are not.
Do you think it's there, or do you think it's also like the lack of like superstars and everything, but also I think the fact that I think we kind of got used to we got used to just the superstardom of teams,
right? And
the fact that now those teams aren't there, like, do you think it's just because we want that back? We want there to be that superstar team, or do you just think that it's kind of a cause and effect type situation?
I think
we no longer have those superstars, so therefore you're just simply not going to get that high that you once got. I mean, honestly, I've never really given a shit about baseball unless I was at a game. Like that's my thing. I don't give like my dad could just throw that shit on and sit there and watch it, and I'm just sitting there like, yo, this shit's fucking boring. Like, this shit is boring. But when you had a game, it's an environment. And I feel like that actually might be its biggest issue, is that it's part of the environment that makes it. I feel like when I'm watching a football game, I'm invested in every single moment because I know that no matter what, something can go wrong. Or I feel like a basketball is kind of an in between. Because I feel like the beginning of a game, it's like I throw it on and I'm just doing whatever.
Right.
But once you get to, you know, like your third or fourth, and then you're sitting up and everything, like, all right, cool, what's going on now? Because something can happen. Right. And something towards the end, so I'm like, I ain't gonna be snapping in the mic. But I feel like, you know, once you get towards the end, then it's back now at the edge of your seat. Like a football game, there's like anything can happen and shit. But I feel like baseball, it's like, bro, like I'm not about to sit here and watch a game that's gonna end like fucking like 2-1.
I think so, cause like I say like the last time that I was like really invested in a baseball game had to be 2010.
I'd argue for me it's been what actually being invested and like, you know, wanting to watch it. For me, it's probably around there as well. Yeah. It's probably around there.
Phillies won 2009, then they went 2010 and lost to the Yankees. Yeah, it had to be around that time. Because also, like...
That was 2009?
Yeah, Phillies won in 2009.
8 or 9, huh?
It's some shit. Yeah, damn, that was that.
No, it was 8.
Oh,
it was 8. In 2009 is when they lost.
Obama gave us off of school. Shout out to
Obama.
You already know that.
But yeah, because, like... It also comes to like superstars. You knew when superstars hit like Derek Jeter's. You was like, oh, it's about to go out. It's about to be a home run. Like you knew, but now like when you watch it, you don't know what's going to happen.
And I really think it's the name, bro.
I think they on the, well, I don't want to say the wrong team, but I think they're not on, like when the superstars was Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez, Big Papi, they was on the Red Sox, they was on the Yankees. Now the superstars is on the Indians and the Astros. Nobody watching that shit. Like I used to love baseball, so I know it because I used to love baseball. Right. I used to play that shit like every day. But the superstars now, they're on like teams that's not as big as the teams.
And because it's a smaller market, it automatically just kind of dwindles away. And I feel like that's the issue. I mean, like, listen, there's no way you're gonna be able to change fucking baseball in a sense that's just gonna like revitalize the whole thing. It's literally gonna be like you're gonna need the next fucking prodigy that's gonna just literally be fucking like you remember when who was it? Was it Hamels like first came in and this fucker was just like striking out everyone and shit. Like you're gonna need something like you're gonna basically need, like I said, like whether it be the villain or the next prodigy, it's gonna literally just garner the attention of people. Yeah. And I felt baseball does not have that. They don't. Maybe
they do. It's just on the wrong location, I would say. Yeah. Just to get it out.
Yeah, they're literally gonna need something that's gonna bring them back in the tabloids. You're gonna need like trade some shit or someone goes somewhere, whatever. Bring some people in and shit, and just have that one team that's just dominating, and it's literally gonna force people to be like, fuck. Now we actually have to. Because I feel like a lot. Maybe it's like it's partially we don't like all the people are in the wrong places, but it's probably all of them like, yo, we got a contract, we cool. Let's just go play the game now.
And I think it's like the actual game. I feel like that sport more than almost any other, people need to go to experience it, to be invested.
Yeah, and that's a huge issue. Like, not issue as I guess it's a bad thing, but it's a bad thing when now you're talking about like, you know, maybe not that many people are watching it anymore. Yeah. People are just simply not enjoying the ratings or not. Like whatever the case may be, I just feel like it's not there anymore.
They need steroids.
They need steroids back. Bring the steroids back. Yeah, that's a good.
I was gonna mention that earlier, but I was like, no, it's steroids.
Bring them steroids back.
That's honestly been the downhill fucking of baseball. Like once they started doing that, then they started like, well, even certain different forms of steroids you can't use. And I'm like, bro, listen, no, let these fuckers just shoot up. And
that's what I'm saying.
Let them go to the back real quick.
Don't let them shoot up. They're not like hitting each other like football, so they just hitting the ball, so who cares?
Listen, man, take it at your own risk.
Right. We want to see them get it off the park all crazy.
All crazy.
Yeah.
If you want baseball to survive, you need that.
Walk out there with 3 baseball bats in your hand and then start sending shit, bro.
We need a fan to go outside into the parking lot and get pissed because he see a baseball in his window shield.
Right. That's what I need. We need him to go in on live and everything. You see this shit?
Right.
This is the coolest thing ever.
He's upset, but he's hyped at the same time.
Yeah, I'm trying to see that world.
I gotta pay for this shit, guys.
Like right, and I think literally like I'm gonna be real. Like that might be the
That might be
thing
it.
that
That really
back.
might be it.
Give them steroids again and let them go do it. Like
Yeah.
whatever the case may be, let them do what the fuck they gotta do and shit. Because right now I feel as though it's not a dying sport, but the fact that it's not garnering as much attention, it's going to lose its audience.
Yeah.
Not in a major way that it's like, yo, listen, like this, that, and the third, but like they're going to need a way to bring eyes once again back to MLB.
I say it'll probably get better just because things are opening back up.
When people
Yeah.
go-
Yeah.
go-
Yeah.
Because that, I feel like baseball needs
You
live
need
crowds.
Yeah.
live crowds.
Watching
Yeah.
baseball is just not gonna. If it stayed basically where people couldn't go to baseball games,
Yeah.
I'd be kind of concerned for the future of it. I would say
Yeah.
that.
Stadium's about to be getting mad fucking small, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
But that'll do it for the sports news. Passing it on over to.
What's good, y'all? It's your man Inhuman Line. Welcome to Gaming News. To get things started off with, the CDL, the Call of Duty League. The fucking third major finished yesterday, and Atlanta FaZe are winners of the third major within the CDL. This is now their second win. They have won the first major. They lost the second against Toronto Ultra, and then this third one they just won against the New York Sublimers, or however the fuck you say their name. It was kind of fucking sad. So they actually, dropped the series. It was interesting. It was cool. But then the final fucking search and destroy was honestly embarrassing. And it was kind of sad. And I felt like New York could not get a fucking hold of what to do. And it's kind of like, people forget, like FaZe, like search and destroy is really like their fucking game. And the whole match through, it was kind of sad. They out of what was it? It ended 6-1, and the one that fucking New York won, FaZe still got the bomb planted. So like they pretty much just rushed planted the fucking bomb, and then they killed one of the FaZe off of bomb, and then there was another one hiding in bar, and then they sit there and they slowly picked them off. And then I'm like, okay, this is the turnaround. This is where New York's actually gonna fucking realize, okay, cool, we just need to start picking them off a little one by one, but we gotta move on together. Now, granted, I feel as though things kind of went awry, because now it's a 4v4. But when it was like, like a 5v5 and there, I feel like maybe it would have been like a little bit of a difference, but a 4v4 actually kind of makes it a little bit more difficult now. Or at least I feel as though. But yeah, they have, I think now FaZe has like the fastest search and destroy match of like all time within competition. Fucking 3 of them ran out of the same fucking door in a line and just got headshotted by one dude, and just like all 3 of them dropped, and everyone's like, yo, what the fuck? Then they just ran and chased down the 4th person, just killed him like nothing. It's like, oh,
Seems like bad tactics to me.
bro,
Why y'all running a lot of your CDL?
literally straight out the same fucking door, all 3 of them in a fucking single file line. And I'm just like, yo, like this can't be happening. And like FaZe, I feel as though this is the FaZe that we were missing in the second major when they went against Toronto Ultra. Toronto Ultra literally, like, it almost looked like FaZe was about to come back, but then Ultra just out of nowhere was like, nah, we're just gonna shut this shit down. But they had the momentum. They were like in a loser bracket, and came back and they started smacking everyone. It took them like a couple rounds and everything to kind of figure out who was playing what, how things were working, and then out of nowhere, boom, they just ran straight through it. And it was awesome to see, but kind of crazy because I was kind of rooting for FaZe at that time and stuff. But then, you move on to the third major, and it's like FaZe has just been rocking out throughout this whole thing. And then you get to the end, then you get to the last game within the series, and it's like, yo, like, they fucking ran through New York. And I was like, damn, like, and it kind of sucked in a way because I was like, yo, I wanted to see, like, a fight. But it was like, nah, FaZe was just ready for everything that they did. And it's like, it gets to a point that, like, I know, Zay, like, when we're playing, like, Warzone there, like, there's certain times where you have to win your gunfights or everything just goes downhill.
Yep.
You simply have to. And I feel like New York, no matter what they did, even if both of them got the same, they both turn around at the same time, they just weren't winning their gunfights. Like, there was a time where, like, fucking one of the dudes was, like, literally laying on the floor, aiming, because he knew that the guy was around the corner. The guy knew that he was also around the corner, but he didn't know he was laying down. He just ran, fucking jumped, and just looked down and killed him. And I'm like, yo, you were laying on the floor prone waiting for him. Like, you were supposed to win that. You were supposed to win that shit. But, you know, it is what it is. Shout out to
What's the name of the New York team?
Sublimers?
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Right.
Bro, some shit. Sublimers, I don't know, some shit like that, I don't know. But, New York, good fight. I do pray that, you know, maybe you make it back to the finals within the fourth major. But shout out to Atlanta FaZe. You guys did your thing. Congratulations, and I look forward to the fourth major. Moving on, we have Ubisoft. Ubisoft had made an interesting statement, announcement, blah, blah, blah. They kind of want to go into more high-end free-to-play games. And I think it's an interesting thing because every company's trying to do this.
What does that mean, high-end?
So, have you played Rogue Company? Okay.
Does that mean like a Warframe?
Yes. Kind of like a Warzone. Warzones are free to play.
Okay.
So that right there, that's like a AAA high-end type thing. What is the other one that fucking for the people
So
who did
what's the
Titanfall?
difference between high-end and low-end?
Basically higher budget, better graphics and everything. More like, you know, just more into it. Because I feel like a CS:GO is kind of like a CS:GO is free to play. But like CS:GO, I mean, like, you know, the graphics and stuff that really isn't there and everything. It's been the same fucking. I mean, you could probably play like on a fucking Windows 95 shit. Like this shit has been the same for like the longest of times. So, but you know, it is still fun and everything. But
so Fortnite is like a low end. Well,
That would be
Fortnite.
high-end.
no, I do.
Well, I would say like it sounds like Fortnite could be a low end when it first started, but now.
For Fortnite, I feel as though like, well, here's the issue. So Fortnite wasn't never supposed to be what it was. Fortnite was just what's it called? A fortress protector, a fortress builder. Basically, it was like, hey, listen,
Balloons TD?
huh?
You said a fortress protector?
Kind of, yeah. So it was literally just supposed to be, there's waves of zombies coming after you, and you're building a fortress to protect this spot and everything. And that's all it was. But then they decided, yo, listen, this is around the time when fucking Player Unknown Battleground, PUBG. When PUBG came out, PUBG was huge, so they said, yo, fuck it. Let's take the mechanics we have and just make a fucking battle royale. And they said, alright, cool. It released in beta, it wasn't supposed to be shit. At this same time, Epic had a game called Paragon that was out. Go feel free to go look at the game Paragon. Paragon was literally the next fucking biggest thing. I promise you, how they went through with it would have been the next biggest thing. It was a MOBA, but it was like a fucking it was like a fucking action shooter like MOBA. It was amazing. It was like really cool how it was. But then, as Fortnite started to get traction with its fucking battle royale mode, they were like, oh, we had something. We struck gold. So they fucking canceled Paragon. They moved the whole team and everybody over to Fortnite, and then they actually took the assets of Paragon and released it to everybody. Said, yo, if you guys really like it, here's all the assets, here's everything. You guys build it if you want it. So now there's like fucking like 4 different versions of Paragon that's coming out and stuff like that, of everybody that took all the assets and try to remake what was once there. So it's sad. But when you're talking about high and low end, like there are some free to play games. Like if you take out like your Nintendo Switch, you're gonna find a lot of free stuff and everything that are just like low budget shit and everything. But when you're talking about high end, what the fuck is that game? What's the other game that we was playing? The other battle royale, the sci-fi one. The people who made Titanfall. Apex Legends. There we go.
Yeah.
Apex Legends. Apex Legends and everything. That's another like big free to play, but it's a battle royale. So
high end. I would consider that high end.
yeah, and also it's like the team just kind of knocked it out the fucking park. They also made that quietly. The EA never knew they were making that shit. They were just making it, and then there was a rumor, hey yo, listen, by the way, today there might be a whole brand new game dropping. And they're like, wait, what? And then they're like, hey guys, here's Apex Legends. And that shit launched.
Wow.
But Ubisoft is trying to basically do, not necessarily, what you call it, that, but you know, it doesn't have to be a battle royale. It could be an MMO. You know, so you have like your Warframes and everything. That they're like RPGs and stuff like that. You have like your fucking Destinies that are like fucking looter shooters and stuff. But my thing is, I don't know if that. I understand Ubisoft is doing it because they're looking for the money aspect. my thing is, I don't know if it's going to be sustainable for them because it costs money to build this shit. So how exactly they're going to go about it? You have your top franchises, and then they're saying that pretty much they're trying to launch other versions of those franchises into smaller things and everything to see if they kind of goes out around that. My thing is, are you going to launch a free-to-play Ghost Recon? They're supposed to be launching a free-to-play fucking The Division. Is there going to be a free-to-fucking-play Assassin's Creed? Like, I feel like there's certain things that you just can't do and stuff. But, I mean, I guess we'll see. My thing is that, like, I don't know. I feel it truly is a money grab because it's what, I mean, companies need money. People still forget Ubisoft is still technically an independent studio. Granted, they have multiple studios, but they're still independent. They don't have an overlord corporate thing. Although Tencent did buy a lot of fucking stock in them. I guess for my last topic, I guess you'll say, goes into what you'll be talking as well with yours, and it has to do with Warner Brothers. And you'll get into it as well for AT&T and the Discovery situation that actually happened today as we're recording. And Warner Brothers, at least for the Warner Brothers games, they pretty much split up everything. Or Warner Brothers / AT&T split up all things that have to do with them. So HBO, Warner Brothers video games and everything, they all kind of split them up into separate entities, and they're either selling off certain ones, and basically everything else is just going over to Discovery. So apparently, the Warner Brothers gaming is actually, they're looking to possibly sell it. Now I think it's also interesting, mainly because the fucking Microsoft was in talks to buy them, and then they released, they had the whole release of the Suicide Squad game that's coming out, and then also Arkham.
Is it Suicide Squad?
I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, I did. Me too. Yeah.
And the Suicide Squad game is also made by the same people who made the Arkham series.
Okay.
So Arkham City, Arkham Origins.
As long as they change up
No,
the fighting
Origins is a
mechanics.
different one, right?
Yeah,
Just change the fighting mechanics.
Christian Bale.
Yeah,
Arkham
no,
Knight.
that shit was
Yeah,
killing me.
Yeah, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City,
Press
Arkham
Y.
Knights.
Dash.
And then Arkham Origins is the other studio.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
yeah.
still a part of it.
Yeah, well, that other studio that's doing that also has the new game that's coming out that's about the story arc of Batman called The Court of Owls.
Yeah, oh
And-
yeah,
and
that's
that game-
them.
Yeah, that's the one that you're gonna be able to play as Batgirl, Nightwing. Who?
No, I just said that's top.
Oh, I thought you said Tom. I'm like, oh, I think it's Tim. But yeah, Tim Drake, Red Robin, and then Red Hood. So those four you're gonna be able to play as in the other game. But yes, so those two games were like, announced and stuff, and then I guess Warner Brothers were like, oh, this shit kind of like people really fucking with it. So they're like, all right, cool. So we're not going to sell anymore, and they decided against it and kind of all talks. There was a bunch of people who were looking into talks to actually go purchase them, and I'm thinking maybe now, like, yo, it might need to happen. They also have another realm out there, the people who make Mortal Kombat. So it's like, yo, like you have that, and then also you hold the license for the Lord of the Rings games. And if Amazon's
That could be crazy.
Wow.
yeah, bro.
That could be crazy.
If Amazon's gonna be out here fucking making a Lord of the Rings TV show,
Yeah.
and they dump that much money in it, they're probably gonna be looking to make another game.
Yeah.
Fucking buy that, own that contract, or you could probably do some shit out of good faith. If let's say Sony, Nintendo, or Microsoft, if you go purchase that in good faith, be like, yo, Amazon, listen, we want to make this game develop, we'll hand you back the rights and everything for the Lord of the Rings game if you allow us to have exclusivity for the game. And kind of do it in good faith. I mean, Microsoft did it with Alan Wake. They gave back the rights to the game up to the studio Remedy Games and stuff. They said, hey, listen, for Remedy Entertainment, they said we're gonna just hand you back the fucking rights. There's no word if they even ask them. They just say, yo, listen, we own the rights to your IP and everything. Here's it back. They just fucking give it back. And it's like, the fuck? So my thing is, I'm like, yo, there are some instances where you can do certain things in good faith. So maybe it's a situation like that. But saying that, we're gonna go on and kind of stick with that same topic in the more overall picture of the corporate overlords and segue into world news that this has directly links to.
Yeah. Thank you for the nice segue. That was beautiful. So, like Paul said, AT&T and Discovery are forming together. They're going to make their own standalone entertainment company. It's kind of hard to get details. From what I gathered, though, it's going to be at first just a streaming service, and then they might branch out to games. I'm not sure, but it's going to have all of HBO Max's library, and the Discovery Plus library, which you don't know is a streaming service that's out there now. Not a lot of people know about it. Then they want to start. They said when they make this company, they want to start investing in their own projects. So like you see, Netflix is produced by, and this is a Netflix film. It's a Netflix TV show. So we're going to be seeing some
Netflix originals.
Yeah, I don't know what's the company called. But we're going to see some AT&T Discovery originals. So in the deal, AT&T is getting $43 billion. Them AT&T and their shareholders will get 71% of the company. Discovery is going to get 29%. And the reason why it's happening is because AT&T right now is in huge amount of debt. The business is going to start $55 billion in debt, so the new standalone company, which sounds like a lot, but they're going to make a lot of money back, so it's not that big of a deal for them. Do you think
55
billion? 55 billion.
Like that's confidence that y'all gonna make that money back. Like
apparently they think they're gonna make that money
Discovery.
back.
I don't know the
What
people who are on
company
the numbers
is Discovery?
on that.
Does Discovery own any IP?
Discovery, I don't know much about Discovery, but apparently they have very good.
So there's HGTV, the Food Network, all that stuff. That's Discovery owned now, and they've been doing a lot of.
So
it's kind of interrupted some of it.
Is it also like Discovery Channel, like that?
Yeah. So
all of them,
Discovery bought a
Geo.
bunch of other companies that are kind of in that same vein, that kind of being more
That might fuck over Disney.
information.
I was going to ask you, do you think it's going to start messing with Netflix and Disney?
Well,
Hulu,
I don't know about
Amazon?
Netflix, but it is gonna fuck with Disney and Google or Alphabet Code. Only because when you sign up for Hulu, if you get Hulu Live, there is where it does come with Discovery channels. So on the Nat Geo and all that shit,
They might have
it
to
comes
cut
with
that.
all that, and then also
Well,
does
partnership.
for those of you who don't know, Google's they're overlord themselves, but they're
They're
overlord
overlord
Alphabet.
Alphabet. Yeah.
They also own YouTube. People forget that as well. And YouTube TV, which is their live TV service, also has
Discovery
that
Channel.
stuff within there. So
That's a conflict of interest.
Yeah, I wonder how
yes,
they gonna
and then
deal
on
with that.
top of that, you also have to think of Comcast and Verizon, that they also hold those channels. So if AT&T says fuck it because AT&T also owns Dish, and they say, yo, listen, we want more bread, this actually can also fuck over the thing. So yeah, so that's actually, damn, that's a bigger issue now.
That's a huge issue.
Yeah. God damn, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yo, that's an issue when
Discovery
he has.
has definitely been working on.
They've been working on the low.
brand of content.
Yes.
Yeah.
they
They've
have.
been doing it. There's a couple of kind of smaller people
On the
within,
low.
and they like to cross platform. So they'll have basically, there's a show that my mom watches called Hometown Takeover, and so they'll take people from like HGTV and the Food Network, and basically like highlight
shit.
a restaurant in a town, and they'll have someone
That's
do
hot.
this
The restaurant.
multiple
Oh, that's
things
crazy.
in the neighborhood. So
That's
it kind
hot.
of blends this whole
Yeah.
multiple things together, and it makes this really nice effect of a TV show because you're seeing them help multiple businesses
Word.
in multiple kind of ways, and so multiple networks are working together to create this, and it's all shot really well too. So
I think also where I think that they can actually start doing things and actually create better online content, because this is where everything's pushing towards.
facts.
There's a YouTube channel, I forget what it is, but I follow, but it's this guy that he goes to people's things and he basically remodels, but only one room in the house.
Interesting.
So he'll go and remodel like a bedroom or something like that, and he'll do it and everything with his wife at like the cheapest cost that they can do, but still making good quality things. For something like an HGTV, I feel as though, like, you remember when they did Trading Spaces?
Yeah,
Like that
that's something
show,
that
like
get
that.
picked up 100%.
Exactly. And if they choose to do it in like a fucking like maybe 17 to 25 minute video on YouTube, now that's faster content. And then they'll be like, hey, listen, like if you like this and everything, then come watch the show on this streaming service and everything. And they can build like that. Now, mind you, you should fucking pay me for giving me that idea. But nonetheless, this should already be something that's already in their mind as
sure.
the evil corporate overlords and stuff like that. But God,
Millions of dollars they got in the marketing and strategizing.
yeah. And I'm like, yo, listen, like you are the third parties when you sign, whenever you hit a acceptance to the terms of service, and they'd be like, hey, we're gonna share your information with third-party companies. These are the third-party companies that they share the information with,
Right.
so you know where your user base or viewer base is at and stuff like that. So, but I do think there's gonna be a lot of changes. Obviously, there's contractual things, but once all these contracts end with all these other bigger companies, there's gonna be a lot of changes to YouTube TV, fucking, you know, Comcast, Verizon, Hulu, and all this other shit.
Yeah, those contracts have to change.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's too much of a conflict of interest.
Yep. And again, because AT&T owns Dish Network and everything and stuff like that, that's going to be, I think, where everything's possibly going to be primarily going, or to that specific streaming service in which.
I wonder if that's why they're so much in debt. Because I feel like Dish probably isn't really
No.
doing well.
Yeah, they just made bad purchases, honestly.
Didn't they have a deal with DirecTV too?
They did.
AT&T.
I think they
I
still
remember
do actually. Because I got AT&T. I think you can get
Yeah, it was
DirecTV
like, I
on your
got some
phone
sort
for
of
like
They
deal.
$5
might
or
own
something.
DirecTV.
Yeah.
They might actually
Yeah.
own
I
them.
think they do.
And my thing is, I think that's
those are two companies
I
that
think that's
aren't
also a
really-
bad investment as well.
Yeah.
And it's only because, like, again, this is a DirecTV was another thing that she needed a Dish thing for.
Exactly, and that's
So-
kind of out the window.
Yeah, I'm
definitely.
like, listen, man, not you, if your house ain't up to code or something like that. Like, and
He
also,
said up to code.
yeah, and like, you know, maybe some people are not trying to deal with that bullshit of a rainstorm and saying that they're, like, you know, that should have gone into people's heads. Now I understand maybe it was cheap, maybe you could flip it this and the third, but you never did. So you know, you have stuff like that, and bro, it's not smart.
It's not.
They made very bad investments. I don't know why people thought it was a good investment to begin with, but at the same time, this is AT&T. Now that things are pushing towards 5G, you have to make investments into that. So maybe this kind of, is it a merger or a buyout?
It's not. It's neither. They're gonna form their own company together. They're gonna form like their own entertainment.
So they're pretty much
company.
going to create a
It's
show
gonna be a
company and
merger.
then-
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
okay.
They're
But
gonna
not
bring their.
within the actual two
Not within.
companies.
No, they're gonna bring their
Yeah.
entertainment
So
stuff
it's
together.
not like a
and just make it
T-Mobile
one.
and Sprint situation
No,
that
no.
like it's a merger, but pretty much it's just T-Mobile
No,
absorbing
it's
Sprint.
not
Okay,
all that.
okay, cool.
Doesn't AT&T own Warner Brothers too? Correct.
AT&T, I believe.
So they own Time Warner.
Time Warner,
or-
yeah,
I
they own
don't-
Time
so
Warner.
scary.
So all of the Warner Brothers
Yeah,
movies will be on there too, just
And
so
you're
for
55
FYI.
billion in debt, and you own Time Warner.
No, well, no.
Well,
The 55 billion is when they're starting to create all this stuff. They're going to start.
That
with
company's
55.
gonna start
No,
55.
No, they already have
They have 100 something in
billion.
debt.
So they're
a
basically
billion in
putting
debt.
the new company on a credit card, basically.
Basically,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh,
because
okay.
I mean, think about it like this. There's some AI company that Microsoft just bought out, and there was some bullshit saying that like, oh yeah, they're purchasing them for like, I think they said like 16 billion or some bullshit like that. But it wasn't that. It was really just it was lower, but it was basically the reason why it was that number is because Microsoft was coming in, paying off their debt,
And
and then
buying them.
then buying them out. So it was kind of more of a like, hey, listen,
Oh, okay.
we'll purchase you at a smaller price, but the only reason why we're purchasing you at a smaller price is
you get
because
rid
we're
of
paying
your
off
So like
your
what
debt.
China's gonna do in America in the next
Individually.
Basically, what
Yeah.
Tencent's doing. I mean, think about it. That's all that's really happening, man. That's all that's happening. Yeah. Damn, man, that's crazy.
Crazy.
I don't know if they're gonna rename.
I think they had to rename it. I don't know the name yet.
Well, they'll probably rename the overall company as a whole, but I feel as though HBO has too big of a staying name
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
That I feel as though they're probably gonna.
They could just make it into HBO. Just make
Yeah,
HBO.
because there's
original.
three
Merge
different
everything
fucking
together.
HBO
They already
apps.
have the best
They-
content and
Like
everything. that
you
point
you have the
is-
HBO.
Just add
app.
Discovery to HBO,
Yeah.
like for real.
Yeah,
That's
that's
all
all
you
they
gotta
have to
do.
do.
That's
For real, for real.
Discovery under HBO.
Just make it one big thing.
I mean, think about it. When you turn on Disney
That's
Plus,
one.
as soon as you open up Disney Plus, it has Disney, Pixar, fucking Nat Geo,
Geo,
whatever, and then
yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
And so they'll probably just do that. You open up the HBO
Yeah.
app, and it's like Warner Brothers, Discovery,
yeah.
and you know shit like that. They'll probably do that. But my thing is, yeah, I feel like HBO is too big. Well, they're gonna have to cut all the fucking apps. They have an HBO app, HBO Go, and an HBO Max. Or
It's just
whatever.
gonna be
They got rid of.
Yes.
They got rid of
last
Go.
year. 'Cause-
I think it was Go.
Yeah,
they
they're gonna
got rid
just
of Go.
they're
It's
gonna.
just HBO Max now.
Yeah, they're just gonna have to keep that one because like just keep it, you know, centered with fucking everything. Don't
Yeah.
confuse the consumers.
Any comments?
It's really interesting.
No.
Alright. Moving on. They are suing people for your COVID bills. You look.
And
So
now fine,
Community
but-
Health Systems, they're a company that owns 84 hospitals. They're mainly in the South, but they've reached from Key West all the way to Alaska, across 16 different states, and they're suing people, thousands of people. To this day, they have 19,000 lawsuits
Jesus Christ.
suing people for unpaid hospital bills since March 2020. Now, some of the suits has been as little as $200. Some of them has been $160,000.
What the stimmies were for?
Nobody had jobs.
Nobody had jobs. Nobody was
People
working.
were
Stimmies
lying.
were supposed to cover medical
Right.
bills.
Oh,
So-
Alright, yeah.
It's getting real crazy out here. They started suing like 20,000 people so far.
Oh, big pharma's great.
But yeah, how do you feel about that? Which y'all?
If you go on Google, whatever the hospital that you go to, you can Google it to see if you make under a certain amount a year, actually you can be forgiven for
a certain amount. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and depending on how much you make, you can actually be forgiven to actually the whole amount of what you owe if you make under a certain amount. So please Google it and type in the hospital and everything, and scroll down to see if you can actually find where they can actually forgive you at. So because hospitals, literally pretty much every hospital has a thing of where they do forgive you. You fill out the application and everything, you send it in and stuff, and legally if you make under a certain amount, they do have to forgive you. And if you make over it, there is a percentage-based thing of where you actually can be forgiven for. So please Google that.
Go check it out.
Now, what do I think on it? It's fucked up. I understand these hospitals gotta make their money, and billing is literally how these hospitals make their money. I understand they make their money to donations and to billing. Completely understand that. But my God, relax. Fucking relax.
So you're telling me insurance companies didn't make any money throughout this?
Oh, these insurance
They
companies,
definitely made money.
So then, where does that factor in with the hospitals?
Usually they're not
Deal?
with the
Well,
hospital though.
it's
It's usually a separate entity.
Yeah, because the hospitals are getting paid through the insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
So why are
which
they-
is the reason why you need health insurance through it. The issue is that like insurance is only paid for a certain amount depending on what insurance you have. So if they're only paying for, let's say, maybe like 80% of it or whatever, but that last 20% is still like fucking $2,000. Like I don't know how much it costs for all this COVID stuff and everything because I have not been hospitalized.
Some of my stuff,
Thank God and
some
everything.
people's stuff was like grippy.
Okay.
They were in the
Yeah.
hospital and
Yeah.
ventilators for.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like,
Straight.
I'm not sure how much this costs, but let's say like or let's say even like your insurance only pays for like 40% of it and everything, because 80% is kind of fucking high,
Yeah.
especially for that.
That's
shit.
like the
That's-
best insurance.
Yeah, real shit. So let's say like your insurance only pays for 40 or maybe even 25% of it.
Yeah.
Whatever that remaining balance is, you do have to pay. So that you do pay directly to the hospital. So that's where the issue comes in. The hospital only gets paid off of what the insurance gives them, and let's be honest, your insurance is gonna fight not to fucking pay it. Like that's for all insurance is just you paying the insurance for them to then fight the fucking hospital to like, hey, listen, this isn't covered.
It's pretty much your lawyer.
In a way, yeah.
The lawyer for your medical bills.
Yeah, and unfortunately that's how it is. Now, I mean, if you want to get more into the deep of insurance, like I can ask my girl to come the fuck out the fucking bedroom because she deals with the insurance companies at the Dunn office and what she works in. So she deals with all that shit. So this is only the knowledge that I'm getting from her. So, but if later on, if y'all want more information, y'all let me know and I'll fucking ask her to come on camera for pregnant ass. Fucking talk to y'all. Yeah, real
Special
shit.
guest.
Right.
Pregnant as shit now, and here was girl.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's completely fucked up. It is.
Yes.
So it's not right. But please, again, Google and stuff like that. Do your Googles, and hospitals do actually forgive the amount that you owe if you make under a certain amount. But not everybody's told that. So yeah, please check to see if your hospital does offer that. But
Watch the podcast so you can get great information like this.
Right.
Definitely.
Shameless plug.
Always.
Can't they? Is it such as a counter lawsuit? Like
yeah, you can
like,
counter
You
a
can counter a
lawsuit.
lawsuit.
If the lawsuit's counterable, like if you have grounds for it,
Yeah.
like.
Okay.
But my thing is that like, listen, if you just haven't been paying and there hasn't been any communication, they have grounds to sue your ass.
Interesting.
But
Considering
again,
that you
I
can't sue for if anything happens to you for the vaccines. So,
because you signed that that you
Sign
waived
your
your rights.
rights away.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, you signed it. When you get your vaccine, you put your John Hancock on
Your
that shit.
feet.
And,
Oh, you ain't know? Yeah, you can't. If something happened to you, you cannot sue.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say you're a lab rat. So
you grow a fucking like 11th finger, then that's your ass. Like you just
I've
got
seen a bunch
11th.
of videos. People are becoming magnetic. At the
Yeah,
injection
bro.
site, they're sticking magnets on their shoulder and
It's fucking
staying
good.
there. Yeah. Among a lot of
He
other
started
things,
touching
but-
stuff.
Yeah, he's like,
He's like, my Magneto.
he's like, if this light touch fucking up, I don't know, man. I'm
Right.
out of here. And I'll make my own YouTube channel.
Right.
Magnet Man.
Yeah, it's really is messed up. I don't know.
Yeah, that's wild. That's
It's messed up because they need their money, but the people need their money, and then countersue, and they couldn't even countersue if they wanted to because they don't have the money. If they're not
Right.
paying
If
insurance,
you can't pay,
they not gonna pay the
You're
lawyer.
not gonna pay a lawyer.
Exactly. So it's messed up. Moving on, we don't have to talk about this much, but I just thought it was interesting. It's the first study of its kind, where it shows that people. It was done in 2016. It just came out recently. That people, it found that basically our work week is killing us. It's especially affecting the people in Asia Pacific, and I don't remember the other area. I don't want to say the wrong area. I do remember Asia Pacific. It said that people who had 55 hours work week are 35% more likely to have a stroke and 17% more likely to have a higher risk for heart disease. And if you don't know, the time of the day or the time of the week where the most heart attacks occur is Monday morning between 8 and 9. That's just a fact that I knew before this anyway.
I get out at 8 in the morning on Monday morning. So hopefully on my drive home I don't die.
So our work week is literally killing us.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I believe it.
Does everybody want to be a business owner still?
You
you work a lot. Yeah, you work a lot more than 55 hours when you're a business owner. I'll tell you that.
Especially if you,
That's true.
a lot more.
We gotta find somebody for our job. Cause now that they taking off, like a lot of people that's working my department, now that they taking off,
A lot of people.
they looking at me as the work to
Get-
double.
Get this
Because-
hour, get this hours. Yeah.
And I'm like,
Is the money worth your health? That's the
Sorry.
question.
I'll be honest.
Yes or no?
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna be honest. Like,
Is the money worth your health?
it kind of is. We got some nice ass shirts, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Our insurance like some shit, bro.
I'm not asking my body for forgiveness. bro.
Yeah, right.
Hey, listen, man, I'll do it.
But you got 3 other little minions to worry about.
That's why I don't.
so-
That's why I don't do overtime.
Yeah,
I was like, listen, I'm not killing myself and everything because I gotta come home and kill myself here.
Yeah.
So I was like, nah.
you got 3 little minions to worry about. So you need that insurance. Is the money worth it for you?
yeah, dude, like from previous
His position, he
is
get paid more than me.
and he's technically doing work. I'm not doing nothing but really sitting on my ass.
That's fair enough. So you might not be stressed at your job then.
Oh, trust me, them tenants stress us out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That is certain work. We ain't gonna put hey, certain workers on in there.
Yeah,
As soon as you walk in.
Don't say no name.
Nah, we will.
Don't say no name.
Keep it real vague.
Right.
Yeah, we will. We
certain
famous.
workers that's not even in my department at it. Like that's the crazy thing.
Yeah. No, we famous. It's like-
You know what I'm
Can't use certain
saying?
names.
We famous.
Yeah, no, but that's literally the reason why I don't work in overtime. I'm like, listen, man, I'm here to do it. That was funny enough. That was an issue that I had. I was like, listen, man, I was like, I can't keep, like doing overtime. I was literally being told like, yo, listen, your hours are your hours. But then I was then being told, yo, listen, there's no more overtime. And then I was being told by another person, yo, listen, you have to stay. You don't really have a choice. So I was like, whoa. So you tell me that my hours are my hours. You tell me there's no more overtime available. And then another person tell me, yo, you have to stay. You don't have a choice. I was like, nope, man. Want to talk to the big boss? I was like, hey, big boss, listen, I got a question here. Do you hear some concerns that I have? She was like, nah, yo, listen, man, you can't do it, you can't do it. And I was like, cool. I was
Appreciate
like,
you.
I can't do it. I appreciate you looking out. It's all love. But yeah, no, listen, yo, like, I think a lot of people, they overwork themselves because, it's overtime and stuff. But you have to also understand that your body can't always take that. Like, people forget that, yo, your body, and this is coming from someone that I probably only get around like 4 hours, 5 hours of sleep a night and everything. Like, understand that maybe your body can properly function if you're used to
I get
it,
my
but there's
8
going to be
every
a
night.
time
My
where
beauty
you're just
rest.
going to collapse. So, like, you got to be extremely careful with how far you're actually pushing yourself and everything.
Yeah.
And again, also just to parents as well. Please understand, it's not a joke when they say, yo, when your kids sleep, you sleep. No, listen, man. get your fucking rest, alright? Especially when your kids is little and everything. They take up a lot of energy within yourself as well. So like, please, yeah, this is important, especially during COVID and everything. Not everybody mentally is even in the right headspace. So it's extremely like harmful to yourself when you're not in the right headspace, and then you just don't even have the physical energy to even handle shit as well.
Yeah.
So please put yourself first, and do not be afraid to when somebody says, "Yo, I need you for this." Just don't even bullshit them. Be like, "Yo, I can't." And that was the issue that I was having too. I'm just too nice of a fucking person and everything. I was like, no, it's okay. I'll stay in there. No, don't do that no more. Like on some real shit. Find the nicest possible way you can and everything, or just be flat out, yo,
Like, no.
I simply can't. Like I can't. And then bro, just leave. It's not your job to work overtime. It's not mandatory and shit. So
I worked at UPS for 5 years. I think in the 5 years there was at least 3 or 4 people that died at the job. There was one time, so basically UPS peak season, that time when stuff gets crazy because of Black Friday and shopping and everything like that. So that's when all the hours open up. I remember there was one day I was doing a double, and I had left out. I came in the next day. They said basically a half hour after I had left, somebody had had a heart attack at this one position that I was like right next to, and they had to like pull his body out of the building in a weird way because how the building is shaped and everything. So you know, I don't work there anymore. Okay? So I'll let you leave that up to your interpretation.
I used to.
Yeah, it's not really. A lot of stuff isn't really worth it in the long run. I did well, and I still picked up injuries there, 2 concussions and a knee injury. So, you know, you really need to take care of yourself. It's not, a lot of stuff isn't really worth it long term.
Nah. Yeah, I used to work at the airport. I'm not gonna say what airline because I don't really want to put them out there like that. But like, I used to work 12 hours a day for 4 days a week. Although that's like what, 48 hours. That's still 8 hours over the 40, and that kind of drains you.
it takes a toll.
Yeah.
Especially when you're doing it for
8
days.
hours of sleep cycle.
Yeah. And then like their probation period was a long probation. Like I started January, my probation wasn't gonna be up until like October.
What?
It was literally like that long, like a 9-10 month probation period. So
That's
no
how
off, so
probation
not being
for us.
able to take
Yeah,
any
no days
off.
off.
Yeah,
No days off. I used to come home literally with migraines and vomiting.
No.
That's
It was-
too much.
That shit fucks you up, man.
Yeah. I believe it. I only did that like one summer. I worked maybe like 70 hours a week for like 2 or 3 months. It wasn't that bad because it was with kids and I like kids, but still it's draining. I think one reason why we do it is because there's a couple reasons, but one reason I think is that when we get more money, we spend more money. So we always trying to catch up. And then also another reason is a lot of people like to flex and like show stuff that they don't really have. So they got to keep up with the appearances. Once you start, you can't stop because that's what you're known as. That's who you are. That's the person and the image that you built up. So I would say focus on yourself, focus on your body. Don't be out here for other people.
Live within your means.
Live within your means. Live below your means if you really want to. Wealth tip, live below your means. If you make $5,000 a month, don't spend $5,000 a month. Spend less than that. That's how you build wealth. Start investing that. But I'm going to just leave it at that. I'm not preaching today.
One of your other sermons. Said today. When can we catch you on the pulpit?
You might catch me on Broad Street just talking to random people. Selling some bean pots. Like, let me stop.
I was just about to ask, wait, how far up Broad Street? We talking about Center City?
Or you like trying to cash out?
You talking about North Philly Station?
Alright, moving on. The last two we don't got to talk about much. So apparently the Secret Service seized $2 billion in fraudulent COVID payments. If you're from the city or you're from the state, you might know what PUA is. Things of that nature throughout many different states. People just have been claiming things that's not true. Maybe they're claiming deceased relatives, maybe making fake identities to get the money, whatever. So the Secret Service is going to be on your ass soon.
Secret Service though.
I don't know why the Secret Service, I don't know why them, but it's just $2 billion they coming up. They already got $2 billion. They probably coming for more. And then the second thing is shortages. We was talking about shortages last week. I know by now you've probably seen the gas prices go up. So automobiles prices will be going up, have been going up. In Hawaii, only the reason I know this because I'm going to Hawaii this summer. In Hawaii, people are literally buying U-Hauls because it's cheaper than renting a car because cars are so expensive. And U-Hauls, renting a U-Haul for like a week is cheaper than renting a car. So you'll see people riding around in U-Hauls in Hawaii.
I ain't mad.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that either. I was talking to my dad, like, we might need to get a U-Haul.
For a job, especially as a filmmaker for jobs, that just actually makes more sense.
Yeah. But people on vacation doing it, riding around with
That's
U-Hauls.
hilarious. That reminds me
Everybody
of,
in the back.
Yeah, right.
You remember, what was that?
Crack the door a little.
The draft week? And they was riding down to Atlanta.
Oh,
in
the
U-Haul.
movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a bad look.
But no, it's getting crazy out here. So chips, chips in general, so computer chips, but cars have many chips, are a shortage. There's supposed to be 3.9 million less vehicles produced in 2021 because of chips. And I didn't know it, but apparently it's 1,400 chips in a typical 2020 made car.
I believe it.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. So the industry, well, that's a lot. So what that's saying is basically you won't see it. Well, you'll see it in the price because prices will go up. You won't see it on the lot, like you won't see less cars on the lot, but the back inventory will be a lot less and a lot slower and a lot shorter. So it might take longer. If you don't pick a car on the lot, you want some changes, you want a different make or model, it might take a lot longer for that car to come, if it will ever actually come. So if you're buying a new car, if you get a good deal, buy it if you need a new car now, because the price is going to go up very, very soon. If you see one on the lot that you could live with, it might not be perfect, get the one off the lot, because you never know if they actually got one in the back anymore.
Yes, sir.
So it's shortage is going crazy. COVID messing up gas, chlorine, ketchup packages is coming soon. I'm so serious. It sounds crazy, but because restaurants was closed, like ketchup, hot sauce, all of them, they had to package them like in delivery services. So they're running out of shortages because the past year it was no restaurants. They didn't have like bottles. It was everything little packages.
That's true. Cause Chick-fil-A.
Exact chicken is on the shortage.
Chick-fil-A
Sauces, all types of
They
sausage.
say you get one sauce.
Yeah.
So sure, COVID is hitting us now. It's
Got
hitting our
me fucked
pockets
up, you
now.
giving me one
It was hitting the
goddamn
hearts
sauce.
earlier. It's hitting the pockets now. They coming around.
Chick-fil-A sauce.
Yeah, that's sad. Chick-fil-A sauce is actually
They
hard.
will post one shortage and they got 15 sauces. Come on, guys. Y'all doing the same thing all over again with the toilet paper.
Man, don't do that. All right, but that's going to end world news. Don't hoard the Chick-fil-A sauce, not Chick-fil-A sauce. That's going to end world news. Any last comments, questions?
YouTube's getting sued. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Steven Crowder, the guy who does the Change My Mind segments. Well, he's actually suing them. So, and he actually is like, it's like legit. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, like fucking show he does all the time. He has this guy he calls the half Asian lawyer and stuff, because the guy is half Asian. So he has another guy that started his cast and everything. I think he's like a quarter black and everything. So, like,
What do you call him, quarter man?
No, but he says his name, but I forget his name and everything. But they call him like the quarter. Like his nickname is like the quarter black something. I forget his actual name. But he actually did send them the papers and everything, and basically serving them and saying like, yo, listen, like, we are going to be suing you, and it's pretty much like they not only are like starting to like, they completely demonetized his channel, and I think it's very interesting that after they have fully demonetized the channel, I'm actually now getting suggestions on my homepage and stuff like that to his videos. I have never once been suggested any of his videos, even though I've watched most of his, and I've watched every single Change My Mind video he's ever done. I never get suggestions. But once they completely demonetized him, it was like damn near the same fucking day. Now I'm starting to get suggestions to his stuff. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. But I didn't watch the full video and everything on like what he's like, how he's actually going to be going about it. But he did officially announce like, yo, he is going to be suing them. So, yeah, YouTube will be getting sued.
Last case. Well, not last case, but last thing. The Supreme Court is taking an abortion case. It's starting today. That's going to be big. Either way, whichever they decide, it's going to be a big deal. So, look out for that.
What is the 15 weeks one?
The 15 weeks one.
Wait, what happened?
I don't know the whole details, but yeah, I don't know the whole details.
Hey, listen, they cut it right there, man.
I don't know the whole details.
We'll get back into it next week then?
Yeah, we'll get back to it next week.
It'll be our marker point of possibly final, not final episode next week and everything. But it'll be our marker point and everything. So thank you again for joining us for episode 9 of Night to the Opera Table. And yeah, I guess moving forward, we're also going to be testing out a lot of different things, I guess. Future shows also planned, and by shows I don't mean just more episodes of Nights to the Opera Table, but I also do mean the expansion of what we are trying to do. When I first created Nights to the Opera Table, the idea was actually originally to have this podcast just be called Offline. And it was basically going to be kind of like locker room talk, just completely a bunch of just like nonsense, balls to the wall type content and stuff like that, just us joking around. And the Nights to the Opera Table, which is going to be the name of the group as a whole. But as things went on and everything, you know, the name Offline kind of got taken by someone else, and you know, copyright shit. So we're just Nights to the Opera Table, but the idea is still to continue to release more content, not just with the podcast, but also to launch other shows. And with that, you know, those of you know, I have my solo podcast that I do separately, but you know, we're in talks to possibly just integrating that within Nights to the Opera Table, as well as launching possibly a solo sports show, and maybe, hopefully in the future, if someone agrees to it, if I sell it properly, maybe even, you know, a weekly show where you can also get your world topic news. So saying that, I would like to bring this episode to an end. Go ahead and let them know who you are, and where they can find you at.
Sir Frenchie on Twitter and Instagram, dev.antoine. Might as well throw it in there. Twitch, DevinDev95.
Let's go! Let's go! Turn me up, love it down!
Well, I'm Malik. You can find me at Borden Alley with my newspaper preaching.
I like that you're consistent. You're doing a different one every time. Last time it was what, your mom's crib or something like that?
Listen, man, I in season 2, I'm gonna be dedicated. I'm gonna dedicate all my fucking time to making sure that he has his own social media. Like, I'm gonna create a Gmail for this boy and his own Twitter. I got his Twitter handle again. Like, I already have his Twitter picked up. But yeah, we're gonna dedicate it. Season 2, he gonna be having his shit. But saying that, would our esteemed filmers like to let them know who you are, where they can find you at?
Okay, Izzy. You can find me on Instagram at IsisXKeya. Kia spelled Keya. On Twitter, it's just Isis Curtin, Kirton. And I think that's about it. If you want my art therapy workshop, it's Small Doses of Healing on Instagram. So that's it.
Alrighty. And Zay will not turn the camera on himself
I will
because
not.
he is Zay. But
You've seen me once, you're saying that you're good. Happy with that dose.
the hidden one. We'll just put up the picture I took of you where like you just see half your face because the camera's in the way.
Alright.
But let them know where they can find you at.
Yesh Yahoo, Yesh _A_ Yahoo on Instagram. Aphos Images, lots of content coming soon. Or yeah, aphosimages.com. That's honestly where you can find me. And then 3 Eyes No Lie on Twitter. So
Let's go.
I hope you're spelling this stuff out on the bio.
Saying that, you know, it's your man Inhuman Line on all your various social media platforms. So saying that, we'll bring episode 9 to an end. Fuck you. Saying that, we'll bring episode 9 to an end. Thank you for coming with us and joining us. If you made it to this portion of the podcast, which is the end, make sure you thumbs this video up, subscribe, leave a comment, and see y'all next week.